John Roland, who opened the door. Is it wrong for one man to love another man like a brother? I certainly hope not, because John Roland was the brother I loved, admired, and occasionally blamed for nearly getting me killed on a Harley-Davidson. John and I met at Long Beach State in the 1960s. He was an SAE, I was a Sigma Chi, and somehow we became lifelong friends despite belonging to rival fraternities and possessing just enough education to be dangerous. After graduation, John landed a job at KNBC in Los Angeles. For months, I pestered him. "John, you've got to get me an interview at NBC." I called so often he probably considered changing his number. Then, one glorious day, the phone rang. "Mike, I did it. Stan Zieve wants to interview you. Just one question. Do you know how to ride a motorcycle?" Without hesitation, I answered, "Absolutely." It was the finest acting performance of my career, and I hadn't even reached NBC yet. The job was simple. Ride a Harley-Davidson from NBC in Burbank to LAX, pick up Vietnam War film arriving on incoming flights, and race it back in time for the evening news. There was only one tiny problem. I had never ridden a motorcycle. NBC's legendary messenger, Duffy, took me outside for a test ride. He explained the throttle, clutch, brakes, gears, and probably several other things I immediately forgot. Minutes later, I lost control and crashed into a row of parked KNBC news cars. As I climbed out of the wreckage, I assumed my NBC career had lasted approximately 7 minutes. I hadn't even filled out the paperwork, and I was already responsible for a multi-car accident. But Stan Zieve saw something in me. Possibly potential, possibly pity, possibly the terrified look of a man who should never again be permitted near a motorcycle. Instead of showing me the door, Stan opened another one. He sent me to guest relations, where I became an NBC page. Soon I was wearing the famous NBC blazer, escorting audiences and celebrities, and receiving my first assignment, The Dean Martin Show. That act of kindness changed the course of my life. Eventually, I moved upstairs into NBC and KNBC news production, where I was finally surrounded by news cars without being allowed to drive into them. Over the years, I visited Tom Brokaw at the Today Show and watched proudly as John became one of New York's most respected television anchors. Today, both John Roland and Stan Zieve are gone. I often think about that telephone call, the interview, the motorcycle, the crash, and everything that followed. John didn't merely help me get a job. He opened the door that changed my life forever.